Okay, what do we got? I'm set on ohms. By the way, that's just a cheap Harbor Freight multimeter. Seems to work. I've got a probe in one of the sockets there. Ooh, I'm moving everything around here. I've got the probe set in one of the sockets on the suspected problem. I've got this other side going to my tail light, and when I touch it, I have identified which wire I'm looking at. There's probably a better way to do this, but this is the way I thought about, so this is what I did. So let me show you what's going on in the back. You can see that that is the wire, because that probe, this wire is going back to the back of the here's the other end. I've got it in my tail light, and I didn't want to just cram something into the socket here, so I put a number 3 amp, I guess it's amp fuse in there, and I've got my wire running all the way to the front, and so I know that this is the wire that I'm working with in the front. More on that. Okay, so back in the front, I'm still on the socket for the fuse on the wire that goes to the back, and I'm gonna touch my probe to ground, and I've got a dead short in that wire. Every time I touch the ground, I get resistance. So that's a dead short in that wire somewhere between here and there. Where it is, I don't know. Okay, so I'm on my power with my multimeter, and the negative I've got in my hand, and so I am touching this side of the circuit, and I've got battery voltage. I understand that the other side is the one going to the tail light, and I'm going to show you I've got a dead short on that. Okay, so I've moved my meter over to the negative. I've moved the selector over to ohms, and now when I look on the wire that goes to the tail light, nothing. I got to open. On the side that goes to the battery, I got resistance. Now, I'm a little bit dumbfounded because I've been measuring a short on that side from the tail light. So I'm gonna have to think about this. Oh Lord, nothing's happening. Think. Yep, nothing's happening. Here we are under the back of the truck. I've got my tail lights unplugged. I'm on with my probe. I'm on the pin that is the tail lights running back to the fuse box. And when I check for a ground, I have no short there. I'm on ohms. The meter's on ohms. When I put it on there, you can see. So I don't have an open, and I don't have a short in that wire. I know that I don't have a open because I ran a wire from the fuse box I showed you a minute ago, and this is the wire. And with my ohm meter, I can demonstrate. Maybe. Okay, see there? Think you can see it all. That has a connection all the way to the fuse box. Trying to get it where you guys can see. So when I touch that wire onto my ohm readings, I get high infinite resistance. So I don't have an open, and I don't have a short on that wire. Okay, go back to the front of the truck. I just wanted to show you my farm rig, my Countryman test setup, and you see I've got that in the fuse of problem. Ooh, that's how I've got it set in there. I've got this little bitty spade connector and I've manipulated it where it will go in there without messing things up. Okay, so I've got this cheapo test light I've had around, I don't know, 7,500 years. I don't know, it's still working. I've got test light. I'm going to my negative, by the way. I'm hooked up to my negative. And I've got power to my test light. But on this circuit, nothing. Either side. On this circuit, these are the ones I'm working on. Nothing. Nothing. Let me show you something about that. Something about that now. Okay, so now I've got my ohm meter. I'm set on ohms. I'm on the positive side of the battery. On this probe, I'm going to probe the feed side of the fuse. If I can stay in focus. So I'm on the feed side of the probe of the circuit. I've got infinite resistance. Let me move that off. I'm taking it off. There it goes back. I'm back on the circuit. I got resistance. On the taillight side, I'm open. That's good. Why do I not have 12 volts there when, of course, let me tell you, I got the negative off of the battery. But when I put the negative back on there, why do I not get 12 volts there? This is the question. Let me put that back together, I'll show you. Okay, well, I was going to show you this. I got my meter set back up on DC voltage. I got my positive on the positive, and I got the other lead, negative lead. And oh my goodness, now I'm reading voltage. So I don't know if now I've just eliminated the problem by unplugging my tail lights. I think that's what happened. Or did I just move some wiring around somewhere and it's now intermittent problem? Further investigation. I'm going to thoroughly investigate those tail light wires. Well, you might be wondering why this is confusing at this moment. Because just a second ago, I couldn't get any fire on my test light on here. Let me go get my test light. I'm going to try that again. Okay, so unfortunately, it looks intermittent because I just did the test light. I went back to the ohm meter. I'm set up on negative and on voltage. And as I check for voltage now, I'm not getting battery voltage. No longer getting battery voltage. So for a second there, it worked. More light bulbs. I'm looking for light bulb moments. Okay, I guess I should show you that I am getting voltage on other circuits. The battery voltage is there. It's just when I get to these two circuits here that I'm not getting any. Not getting any on the two that I'm concerned with. And this front one here is the trailer tail lights unplugged. This one is the OBD reader and the cigarette lighter. Of course, I don't have a reader plugged in, and I don't have anything on the cigarette lighter.